Hi everyone, so I'm here today to share 3 cards that I made using Spellbinders December 2018 Small Die of the Month kit. So let's take a look at what's in the kit this month. So in the kit this month there are 3 sentiments. There's a birthday sentiment, a sentiment that says "so happy for you," and then another sentiment that says "from all of us." And then there is a circle die that you can use so that you could cut out the sentiment, and then there's also like a roughly die that you could use as an edge or a border around the sentiment. And then there's some like leafy branches and a leaf and a little flower that you can use to further dress up your card if you wish. I'm also going to use these rectangular dies by Spellbinder. There are 2 sets of them, A and B, and each of them are different sizes, about 1/8 of an inch apart. And we're going to use those to die cut out our card panels. So here's the tonic specialty paper I was telling you about. This is the palette that we're going to use for card 1. And on the right are some matte cardstocks in raspberry pink and cherry red. There is a pearlescent cardstock in the center. I don't remember which one it is. There is pink sunset cotton paper, and then also pink champagne cotton paper in the center. Some blushing pink pearlescent cardstock, and then we have 3 different golds. We're going to use cinnamon silk, golden mosaic, and then golden glacier. And to start, we're going to put the little circle die. We're going to attach the circle die to the "so happy for you" sentiment, and we're going to make an anniversary card to start. A happy anniversary, or a congratulations on your wedding, or congratulations on your engagement card. Any of those I think would be appropriate for this one. And here I'm just deciding which of the colors I'm going to use for the different card panels that are going to comprise the card, and then which colors I'm going to use for the flowers. So I ended up cutting like a whole bunch of pieces, and we're not going to use all of them, but I wanted to have a lot of options when I was deciding how to arrange the card and set up the design. So the first thing we're going to do is take our sentiment, which is cut out on golden glacier cardstock, and we're going to use our tool-in-one to just punch out all little pieces that didn't quite fall out when we removed the die cut from the die. And the tool-in-one makes this really, really easy and quick to do. And then we are going to back that sentiment with a piece of the raspberry matte cardstock. And here I'm just arranging the card, trying to get a sense of how I want to set it up. I decided to have the panels go up towards the left-hand corner instead of just being centered on the card, which is how we would usually do it. And so here I'm going to place a cinnamon silk piece of cardstock onto the raspberry pearlescent cardstock, and then we're going to put the blushing pink on top of that. And each time I take the paper off screen, I'm going back to my paper trimmer just to trim off the edge on the left-hand side so that we have an A2 size card. Then I'm just going to attach the sentiment to the border for the sentiment, pop it up on some foam tape, and then place it on the card. For the little leafy branches, I am just applying adhesive to like the very, very bottom of the piece, because I want the leaves to kind of stick out on the page so that there's some dimension to the card and it just looks pretty. And for the flowers, I'm just layering 2 die cuts on top of each other that are cut in the different colored cardstock that we saw before. One of them I'm going to pop up on foam tape, the other I'm going to apply flat to the card base. Then I'm just taking some rhinestones and I'm just going to stick them into the center of the flowers, add a few leaves, and then that is going to do it for card number 1. So card number 1 says "happy for you," and I think this would make a beautiful engagement card or anniversary card or wedding card. Moving on to card number 2, I went with a New Year's Eve theme. So this card would be great if you're going to a New Year's Eve party and you need to give your host or hostess a gift and you're arriving with your family or a few friends. So the sentiment on this card is going to say, from all of us. So it would be, just I think a great card to attach to whatever gift you're going to give your hostess. This cardstock here that I'm using is Jet Black Matte cardstock by Tonic. And then we are going to take a piece of silver checker cotton paper, and that's the one that I'm applying the score tape to now. I'm using score tape because it's a very delicate cotton paper and it wouldn't hold up to the adhesive. And I'm adhering it to a piece of black sapphire glitter cardstock by Tonic. And then we're going to take the black sapphire panel and we're going to adhere it on top of the silver silk card panel. And then we're going to put everything onto the card base, and like we did with the first one, we're going to have it up in the upper left-hand corner instead of being centered on the page, just to give it an interesting Art Deco look. And then for the sentiment, I use the silver silk cardstock, and then for the border, I use the black sapphire cardstock. And then the leaves we're going to apply the same way that we did to card 1, just applying some adhesive to the very bottom and then kind of sticking them underneath the sentiment until we find a good spot for it. And the two colors I'm using here are black sapphire and the jet black matte. I'm going to layer those two cardstocks on top of each other for the little flower, and then we're going to finish it off with a little rhinestone. And that does it for card number 2. I think this one is probably my favorite, just because I don't usually do black and white or black and silver cards, and I love how this one came out, and it just gets me excited for the holiday season and for New Year's and all the parties and whatnot that'll be coming up this season. So moving on to card number 3, unfortunately I didn't film the making of this card. This is the first card that I made with the Spellbinders kit, and I was just trying to get a feel for the kit and how to use it, but the card came out so nice that I wanted to share it with you in case it's a design that you find appealing and want to use it in one of your cards. So to make this card, I got some gingham pattern paper by MFG Stamps and then some navy blue pearlescent paper by Tonic. And so those are the two cardstocks that you see. The sentiment is cut out of the navy blue pearlescent Tonic cardstock. And then the leaves and the flowers, I just used Nina Solar White cardstock, and I colored them in with Copic marker. So for the leaves, I used markers in the G20s and the G40s series. And then for the flowers, I colored them in an ombre color scheme using B91 through B99. And then I added some pearls and rhinestones to the center of the flowers, and that completed the design. So I hope that you liked this video. I hope that you learned a lot. I would love to hear from you which of the cards you liked best, and I hope that you give these cards a try. I had a lot of fun making them, and I am sure you would as well. So have a great week, everyone, and I will see you again in the next video.